All right, so we are back and we are gonna remove the gas tank because I can tell there's water in here. If we pop the cap, you can see there's mud. Kind of hard to see, but you see the mud in there. And open, so we want to close it and then fold that down. So we've got the AN fitting for, I don't know what that was. It's like a, oh, that's a breather tube. Okay, so that was the breather tube because it was just sitting up here. You can kind of see it behind the engine bay. By the way, we turned the engine, as you guys saw in the previous video. If you didn't watch that one, you can look at the series for the Formula V. But it turned really freely, so that was a good sign. It wasn't stuck or rusted out with all that water in there. So we'll see. It's still leaking right now, and you know, we'll still take everything apart, by the way, don't worry. The next thing we'll do is the transmission once we get the motor out. Next step will probably be the carb and the oil pump. I think that's the oil pump, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll remove all that. But for now, we'll take the gas tank out. This is pretty shot, and it's still, I'm afraid it's gonna leak gas everywhere. So where's our red hose go to? Should go to the carb. Yep, oil filter right here. Actually, it's not even red, it's just dirty. So we need to disconnect it from the carburetor up here. I don't know if you guys can see in there. You can see my hand right there, but yeah. So fuel filter, so we'll disconnect that and get that tank out. This is the beauty with old stuff. That came out from the carb. I don't know if that's supposed to come out. I was trying to just get the clamp out to pull the stainless steel braided hose, but anyways, I'm going to disconnect the filter from down here. Nothing so far is coming out. Let me see if I put it down at an angle. Maybe try to lift the gas tank to see if there's anything in there. Oh, what am I cutting? Oh, is that the clamp?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to loosen it a little bit more. Got it, you got it? All right. Here's the gas tank. Oh God. Let me see if there's anything in there. Nope, nothing coming out. Oh my God. I'm gonna put this over here. That's your gas tank. We have an aluminum one. That's a really soft, it's like a soft shell one. So, I don't know, that's definitely not gonna work anymore. And a piece of cloth in here, that's probably from the gas tank itself. I don't know who makes that. We'll try to figure it out. All right guys, so we got the gas tank out. Let's move our buddy here. We'll put him in the golf cart for now. You can chill there. And I was just test fitting the spare one that we have, which goes over here. But I think we're gonna need an entirely new one. I don't know the state of this guy right here. As you can see, we cleaned up a little bit. Still needs to have another second or third pressure wash for sure. So the next thing to do is going to be to remove the engine. We talked to my buddy JJ last time, and he's got a guy that knows, but you know, after talking to several folks on the V group, I think we're gonna send this off to a very well-known Formula V engine builder in South Carolina. I think it's in South Carolina. So we'll see. You know, I think it shouldn't be super hard. Everything looks pretty good. It's cleaned up pretty good, as you guys can see. I still need to drain the oil real quick. So before I take this off, we're gonna drain it off. I think it's just four bolts. So I gotta remove this first, just so we have more clearance. I'm gonna take the carb, just so I have a little more room to work with, and we'll start with that. So let's remove these little brackets that hold the oil cooler in place, and we'll start removal of the engine. All right, so let's take this bad boy off. Just a bunch of small little flatheads. I don't even know what size the back is. These are so small. Wow. I can barely grab these. If you guys can see. Super tiny. This is what's holding this little bracket in place. So I won't bore you. There's a lot of these. So we'll get these out and we'll be back in a minute. Thanks to the beauty of editing. Wow, these are crazy. All right, we got one side out. We'll show you that little bracket that goes in the back. And one screw left for the, I guess that would be the right hand side of the driver facing forward. And again, I hate these flathead screwdrivers. We'll probably swap out to some Torx head or something that's got a little better grip because they're tiny. They can strip out really easily, and it's aluminum too. Now we got one out. All right, both are out. And I'm putting the little screws back in here just so that we don't lose them, because I have no idea. We have so many screws already. Forgot to tag and bag. Always tag and bag. I'm giving myself that advice because I forgot to do it. All right, so now we're gonna move to the engine removal piece. So I'm gonna relocate the camera over this way. I'm solo right now. Avery went back to school already. So he's back in college. All right, let's move back here to the engine side and let's start removal of the engine. I don't know how much you guys will be able to see, but I believe this is the drain for the engine, the main drain. So we just gotta get on there and get a oil drain, and we'll start with that one. All right, so I think this is a 20, but I only had a 21. So it's kind of hard to tell. It's still stuck in there. Let me put this down for a second. All right, I think she's ready to come out. There should be a lot of water in here. Or maybe not. Oh, there's still water. There we go. Man, that's crazy. That is crazy. After you guys saw in the previous videos, if you haven't watched it, click the, it's got the little playlist for the Vee. We posted 2 other videos, so this would be our 3rd one. And that is wild how much water is still on there. I think all the oil is out. Oh, there comes some oil. I was wrong. Wow. That is pretty nuts. I may have to lower it a little bit. Maybe more will come out. That is nice and slushy. Alright, we will let this drain. Won't bore you with all that. I'm going to let it drain for 5-10 minutes so all that stuff can make its way out. And hopefully that is the last of the water and oil fun in here. That is crazy. I'm blown away. Alright, time to take the engine out. Oop, I need an adapter for that. A reducer. See if we can get this bad one here. So, I'm going to let that drain. It's a 15. I don't know how tight. Oh, it's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's the transmission. Transmission's on the engine mount. I don't know what the engine is sitting on. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle. I wonder if I have to get a strap. Maybe I'll take this off too. All this is kind of connected to the motor, so not a big deal. We've got, it's like a breather hose or something. I'm not sure what this does. I have to ask. I think it's a breather tube. Yeah. So these are not too bad. They're rusted, but all this stuff comes off really easily. So hopefully it was like torqued correctly. There's a second. Yeah, there you go. The hose kind of looks like it holds the starter in place as well. It's rotating freely, so I have to get a shimmy for that. We'll loosen up the other ones. The bottom ones, They look like they go from back here. I've never taken this engine out, so it's my first time. So you guys are watching it live for the first time. But I see the two up top. I think it's only 4. I'm gonna look at the other spare one that I've got over there. I only see the bolts at the bottom, so maybe we'll have to go in from there. And then the ones in the front. Hopefully that's all it is. We'll see. We shall see. We'll be right back. All right, so I got that one loose, got that one loose. Still haven't done the bottom. I'm going to loosen the air intake manifold here. And I need to remove the whole carb. This will give me a little more clearance. Plus, I've got, you guys can't see it right now, but I've got a hoist that I built for our Jeep tops. When we removed the hard tops in the summer and we want to cruise with no top or use the soft top, I used that to hoist the hard top for the Jeep, and that's on the ceiling. Hopefully that's, it's on the main joist, which is load bearing and can withstand a lot. This engine shouldn't be that heavy. The Jeep tops I think are like 80 or 90 pounds, and that thing is well within that. This is obviously going to be more, a couple 100 pounds, maybe 300 pounds, I don't know. Uh-oh, see, this was my fear right there. I think this just broke, maybe not. These are, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see. Can you guys see that over here? Let me try to turn it a little bit, maybe come down some. You guys see this? These are really rusted and brittle. So I'm going super carefully because it feels like it cracked or it broke. Hopefully it's just the intake moving a little bit. I also need to disconnect the throttle cable on the other side. I don't know if you guys can see it, but on the other side I've got the throttle cable. I think that's really it. Oh man, this is moving. Oh no. Hopefully it's just coming out of the head itself and not broken, because these kind of bolt in. So we'll have to definitely do something with that too. But that might be all the way out. Yeah, this is the only crappy thing. Aluminum, and when you put steel bolts or something like that in there, and you add water into the mix, they corrode. I don't think it likes the mixture. Okay, I'm gonna go do the other side as well. Yeah, the whole bolt came out, but it didn't break, and it is kind of bent. I don't know if you guys can see it. If I turn it for the camera, it's definitely sideways. So let's work on the other side real quick. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this bolt is very crazy spot right there. You have to go from kind of like the back, use this like flexi. Man, she's in there. We bring the camera, see if you guys can see it a little bit better there. Hopefully you can. Could probably use double extension over here. And it's rusted. And I don't have a lot of leverage. You can see how bad that is. Sorry for the clanking. I should find, I have a longer extension, I just don't know where the heck it is right now. But it's like going in and out. Again, there's probably an easier way to do this. Maybe if you take the shaft out. I didn't want to do all that with the transmission, not yet anyways. I do have to drain the transmission next, but I got to go to the auto part because both my oil containers are pretty full and I have nowhere else to put oil without leaking all over the place. If it's as full as the other one was, I'm stuck here. Man, it's super tight in here. It's really hard to get any leverage. I should have taken the tire off too. That would definitely give me a little bit more space. All right, hopefully you guys can see. It's kind of dark, but you can see not a lot of room in there to work with this. And oh yeah, the camera actually blocks. There's the bolt. You can kind of see it. The shadow of the camera is actually blocking. Anyways, it's right there, and I just got to go do the other side, and I think the motor can come out. See how much fluid is in there still between the transmission and the engine case. Alright, so we can see the other bolt down here. Lighting's a little bit better on this side, so I'm gonna try to get that one. I think I have to do the same thing. This one might be a little bit trickier because we have the shifter mechanism here that runs to the back of the transmission. So we'll see how it goes. You can kind of see that bolt is like right there, so it's like an awkward. I have to get new. Thankfully they're not on there super tight, so, and look at the flex on this thing, it's pretty awesome. So I think I can pull it out by hand. And then the motor just slides forward and up. So I'll have to hook up my winch to pull this thing out because I don't think I can lift it. I mean, I probably could, but my back will make me pay for it later. So you youngins watching, this is what happens when you get older. All right, so we're gonna move the engine forward. Thankfully there's plenty of room over here, as you can see, just enough to get it out of those bolts, the support bolts. So let's slide it carefully. I don't think there's anything else. I'll double check underneath see if there are any other bolts, but I don't see anything else. All right, so we've got the little Jeep top hoist just to give it support. I'm not gonna try to lift that thing with it. Again, apologies about the mess. I know I've been saying that like for 10 videos. I've got to get to the dump. We'll do some spring cleaning, get this thing cleaned up. We just had so many projects, from the Jeeps to the mini bike, other cars, now this one. All right, so I'm gonna take the tension off the front, try to slide this out carefully. It's already separating a little bit, as you can see the gap on that side at least. And we'll pull it sideways. I'm gonna have to put the camera down. All right, so we have to make a little bit more room. We're almost out, as you can see. I've got the winch on here supporting the front of it. I had to take the top of the firewall out, which also the distributor coil pack, or whatever you call this thing, I always forget, is at the top. And we just unplugged those wires. And now we've got a big opening right there. And you can kind of see that halo or loop, whatever you want to call it. We still got room here. That should give us enough room to be able to pull the engine forward now that, as you can see, the firewall kind of sticks out. That's kind of where your head and helmet goes, or at least the padding for it. So we'll put this aside and we are going to just pull the engine. I'm putting the camera down, unfortunately. Don't have anybody here to film, so we'll move this to the side, just push it forward that way towards the seating area, and it should come out. All right, here we go. We got the engine out. Thanks to the wifey for helping out. And it's just sitting on top of the transmission. We'll bring it down. I just noticed I had this clutch piece connected that goes to the transmission motor or transmission. I don't know where that goes. I almost pulled the pressure plate, I guess. So need to disconnect that, forgot. Thankfully we have a lot of slack, so no harm, no foul. Plus all those wires are getting replaced. All right, so we're leaking more water. I think that's coming out of the transmission, so we'll put that there. And I'm doing the clutch, see how much water comes out of here too. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is a temperature sensor. I'm an idiot. I'm thinking clutch cable. It's been a while, guys. I'm a little rusty. So this is the temp sensor, which goes to that bad boy right there. So we'll need that. We'll get a different one. I'm looking at the AIM screen, so we'll probably have to use something while we're in here. Transmission don't look that bad. I still got to drain that out too, but all right. So now we got to get the engine off of this and put it somewhere where we can easily move it around. So I'm gonna have to get my little wooden dolly. I don't know where it is. Just wanted to show you that bad boy completely out of the car for good measure. Have to clean that out too. Transmission's next. We'll have to pull that out, clean it all up, rebuild it if needed. This little strap came in handy, I'll tell you what. That's what we used to hoist the Jeep tops up, so pretty nice. And probably get a new carb. I don't even know if I'll bother with this one, rebuilding it. All right, we've got the engine in the Jeep. I've loaded on here so I can take it where it needs to go. Looks pretty good, other than being dirty, you know. Again, you guys saw it moved pretty good. I'll secure this down and strap it down. The Jeep does have a couple of tie down points over here. So, but that's it. We got it on here. And next is gonna be the transmission. We just gotta clean up some of this mess, and we'll have to get the transmission out, drain it first, and do all that fun stuff. So that's gonna be it for today's episode. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, we've got 2 more episodes that we've posted already, so check those out. And if you want to see more about the Vee as we continue to rebuild this thing and bring it back to the track, tune in, subscribe, give us a like, leave some feedback, comments, anything else you like. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week.